weaver. Greek and Roman myths are often exciting stories full of adventure about their heroes, gods and goddesses. Fathers told their sons these stories till people started writing them down. These stories are not only entertaining, the names of the gods and goddesses and the things they created have become a part of English and other languages. Many words have come from these myths. Poets, writers, movie and TV script writers use them in their writings. For example, Atlas was a titan who had to carry the sky on his shoulders as a punishment. The word Atlas today is a book that has a collection of maps. Early atlases used to have the picture of Atlas, the titan, on their covers. Then there is the word echo. We know it as the sound of our voices coming back to us. In mythology, Echo was a young girl who talked a lot. The goddess Hera punished her so that she could only repeat words recently spoken by others. Now read the story of Arachne. Arachne was a beautiful Greek girl. All day she would spin or weave cloth that was so wonderful that she became famous. Go and see the rugs and cloth that Arachne weaves, said people to each other. They traveled great distances to see for themselves and bought the beautiful cloth and rugs she made. Arachne became very proud of her work and her art. The people in her village praised her work and said, "You are truly gifted by the goddess Athena, the goddess of wisdom and of victory in war." This displeased Arachne. "Athena may have invented weaving, but I am much better than she is. No one has taught me the art of weaving. I have learned it myself." The gods and goddesses knew what was happening on earth. Athena heard Arachne and was very angry. Arachne had to be taught a lesson. Athena came down to earth and went to Arachne's house as an old woman. "Athena has given you a wonderful gift, Arachne. You are a marvelous weaver." "And who told you that Athena gave me this gift? I am a great weaver. Athena is not as good as I am." "What a foolish girl you are. You may be talented, but you should not speak like that about a goddess. You better ask Athena to forgive you." "Ask Athena to forgive me? It is you who is foolish. I shall never do that. If Athena wishes, she can come here and I shall show her what real weaving is." This boldness and rude behavior enraged Athena. In a second, the old woman disappeared and in her place stood the magnificent goddess, Athena. The frightened villagers knelt down to worship her. Arachne showed no fear and paid no attention to them or the goddess. "Come along, you rude girl. Let me see how good you are. We shall have a competition 3 days from today. The great Zeus, ruler of the gods, will judge whose work is better, yours or mine. Let me see who is the better weaver, you or I. If your work is better than mine, I shall stop weaving. If, however, I win this competition, you will stop weaving. You will not touch a loom anymore." Arachne was not worried. She loved to show off and was sure that she would win the competition. "I agree. I shall win this competition and show the world that I am the best weaver of all time." 3 days later, the people gathered to witness the competition between a goddess and a village girl. How bold could Arachne get? The people were afraid for her. Arachne sat down to weave a magnificent piece of cloth. She used the colored thread so expertly. She had been weaving since she was a child and had plenty of practice. Even Zeus looked down at her wonderful work and nodded his head. It was then the turn of Athena. She was the goddess of wisdom, who knew every art and craft. She began to weave using the brightness of the sun, the green of the grass, and the blue of the sky. She wove a beautiful piece of cloth showing all the beautiful mountains and valleys, rivers and trees, flowers and fruit, and all the birds and animals on earth. She also wove the kingdom of the gods and goddesses performing heroic deeds. The people stared in wonder at the work of the goddess. Arachne finally realized how wrong she had been. She was frightened. Did she now have to give up what she loved the most? Tears came into her eyes. Why had she been such a rude girl? Why had she been so proud? These were questions she asked herself over and over again. There were no answers. Maybe she would beg Athena to forgive her. She did not know what she should do. Athena looked at the sad girl and felt sorry for her. "I'm sorry, Arachne. I wish I could let you forget your promise never to touch a loom anymore. But I can't do that. I can help you in one way. I know that weaving gives you so much joy, so I will give you another form. You will now be able to spin and weave without a spindle or a loom." Arachne wondered how she could spin and weave without a spindle or a loom. Athena touched Arachne with the tip of her spear. Arachne shrank. She turned into a spider and scampered away into the glass and began to spin a cobweb. Today, when you see a spider, think of Arachne. Maybe it is one of her great-great-great-grandchildren? Now for a piece of information. 8-legged creatures like spiders, ticks, mites, etc. are called arachnids. Where do you think that name came from?